Hello, hello! It is streamy time again, a bit late today, because I was playing a D&D game, which I was not allowed to say no to, and I wanted to play as well. But if anyone who does play D&D knows, when you're playing for the first time, there's at least an hour or two of setup while you get used to things and get used to this new group of people and this new campaign. So that's what I was doing today. I was doing something leisure time. Sounding good. Thank you, Kez Daddy. Hey, everyone's in today. Fantastic. Now, music a bit loud versus voice? I don't know. What's everyone thinking? Voice versus music. It does look like my mic might be a bit quiet. It's on -20. Can't seem to go much higher than that. Let's have a look in the settings. How is everyone else thinking? Okay volume, or...? The music stops, fantastic. I can't hear it right now. Music did seem a bit loud. I can turn the music down, but if my mic's low, that makes me think there is a setting in the microphone. I should put up more. Words are difficult for me today. We'll see how I get through this. Okay, microphone. Okay, my mic is pretty close to 100. Good now? Hang on, let me see. Let's look around the back of this microphone. Okay, I can put my gain up a little bit, which I try not to do. Okay, how are we sounding now? That seems like it should be a bit higher. Hopefully not too loud. Let me know if that's too loud. I'm not seeing anyone screaming in chat, so I'm going to assume that's an okay volume. Much better, okay. I'll be launching the game shortly, so if the game's too loud or I'm too quiet, let me know. And I'll make the necessary adjustments. Oof. Busy week this week. I swear I get finished streaming, and I think, okay, that's a whole week now until I have to stream next time. And then, oh, I'm streaming again the next day. Like, it's just so quick, the time. Okay, looks like we're a good volume. And I've updated SS2. I've done a quick test, everything seems to be fine. So hopefully we don't run into any bugs that have already been solved, because that's never good. But let's go over and see if everything's fine in game. Okay, it's not very loud right now. I think where we left off, we had just done the battle at GNN. Yep, we've killed the poor gunners, and we went with Aiden's plan, so I'm afraid there's not going to be a particular path open in Chapter 3, because I'm fairly sure that has been fixed now. What used to happen is, if you let Berman go, or you killed him, it didn't really matter, because he would always show up in the beginning of Chapter 3. Oh, look at all these poor dead gunners. What's going on, Jake?
Hey.
Oh, hey. I'm just looking over the comm hub. Sure, it's nice to see it again. But I really should give it the once-over. Make sure the gunners didn't break anything. You know, despite my prior worries, I'm glad we did all this.
How's it going?
Surprisingly, the comm hub's in pretty good shape. And I could be wrong, but I think they may have upgraded it. There's at least 3 new components in here. All Vault-Tec brand. Don't ask me how, but I think the gunners may have finished repairing the hub for us.
Hint, hint. So, anyone who doesn't know, spoilers, Vault-Tec are the employers of the gunners. So there's, I think, small hints in Chapter 1, and there's probably plenty of hints in Chapter 2.
How long will it take?
I'm not too sure. I don't want to try moving this thing until I know exactly what the gunners have done with it. I'll let you know once I've made a full assessment.
Ha. That's okay, Erica. You don't have to watch every stream. I already know you've watched a playthrough of SS2 at least 100 times, so you've not missed much other than me just waffling over the gameplay.
I wouldn't have made it without your help.
I don't know about that, but I'm glad I could lend a hand. We've come a long way from dealing with the odd raider or feral. Makes me wonder what the future has in store. Guess we'll find out.
Maybe a whole new faction.
I'll leave you to it.
Thanks. See you later.
So I'm fairly sure now we just have to wait a few days. So let's go outside and sit on a bench for 24 hours. Yes, we had a problem last stream where it could just be that it was a bug on that particular build, or because I did have to cheat forward to get to where I am, because we had to do it. We'd start over the playthrough due to probably something I did. I can't remember now. Berman bugged out, so he couldn't actually die, even though we'd taken a path where he turned hostile. And because we couldn't kill him, that means we couldn't progress the quest, and I hadn't saved before having to do the whole running into GNN and killing everyone, so I wasn't going to go back and do all that again. So we just had to cheat our way through it. So who knows, maybe a global hasn't been set that says Berman's dead. I'm fairly sure he will be dead though. But maybe he'll still pop up in Chapter 3. Now I wonder how long we have to wait for the next trigger. Like, this is something we do on purpose, because we do want the player to go out into the world and engage with our mechanics and build up settlements and use ASAMs. But some people, they don't want to do that. They just want to play the main story. So every time we have a moment where it's you got to sit down and wait for a bit, people sometimes don't like that. Okay, we don't have ammo for that. Okay, let's search some of these bodies, see if there's any ammo.
Ours now.
We have plenty of fusion cells.
Hey, fancy pants.
Oh, it's Teresa. I think that means enough time has passed if she's just spawned there. Yep, Jake's private frequency. There we go. Moving day. Ooh, a fat man. We'll just take that. Take that laser rifle. Okay, lots of laser weaponry. Okay, there we go. Ooh, okay. Some good items. Okay, Stimpack. We were low on Stimpacks. If I was doing a normal playthrough, I would be looting all these bodies and breaking down the components because I love looting. I'm terrible for playing a game and just being a loot goblin and grabbing everything and then never using it. So I'll finish a game and just have an inventory full of stuff that I really should have used because it would have made the game easier. But instead I was like, no, I gotta hoard these. I gotta hoard all these potions and scrolls and bullets and everything because I might need them. And I never use them. So it's a habit I try and break when I've played a game before. And I know I'm getting towards the end. I just start using those items. It's a really bad habit of mine. Okay, let's listen to Jake's private frequency.
Hey there, Slick. When you've got a moment, could you stop by the plaza again? There's something I need to talk to you about. Buddy, watch what you're doing up there. You're gonna brace something. You don't got it all, Doc.
Sorry, I'm just setting something up.
Well, if we're all still in one piece by the time we get here, I'll meet you in the atrium, by the big globe thing. See you soon.
This has been a pre-recorded message.
Now,
Message
why
repeats
aren't the
in 3
subtitles on?
seconds.
I swear I had those on. Let's see. Is it gameplay or display? I think it's display. Yeah, we have all the subtitles. I wonder why they're not showing up for radio. I'm sure this is a problem I've seen other people have. Maybe it's just a general Fallout 4 problem. It's not the gameplay, is it? No, okay. I have no idea why that is. So hopefully everyone can hear the radio just fine. Because whilst I like to play without subtitles, because I do that thing of, I'll read what the character says, and they've not finished saying it, and I just get frustrated, because they're being too slow. So I have to turn them off. Otherwise it just breaks my immersion. And I just realized we can go talk to Teresa. Let's go find her. Now you don't have to talk to her, but, be nice to see what she has to say. Uh-oh. What are those guys? Okay, we need a weapon with ammunition.
Hey, some.
Raiders. We have plenty of fusion cells. Ooh, that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to... Gosh darn it, what's... Q. I'm hitting tab instead of Q. I'm like, what's going on there? Oh, it's more than I thought it was. Oh, no, that's the one I was shooting before. Okay. There's still two of them. Oh, out of action points. Plasma weapon. I'll take that, please. Short hunting rifle, a plasma pistol. Okay, I did need ammunition, so thank you very much. Random raider. Okay, let's go talk to Teresa. I got some good items.
Hey, Fancy Pants.
How are you?
What are you, like, some kind of wasteland shrink or something? But if you gotta know, I'm doing good. So, thanks for asking, I guess.
What are you doing out here all by yourself?
Just needed some fresh air. Was getting a bit too stuffy inside the plaza.
See you around.
Later.
Ah, always nice to have Teresa around. Now, what did Jake want?
Hey there.
Welcome back to the plaza, Slick. Got some good news to share. The comm hub is fine. In fact, it's better than fine. Don't ask me how or why, but the gun is actually finished
That's my
repairing it.
character being called.
And they even started adding some upgrades.
What sort of upgrades are we talking about?
Well, I'm not entirely sure. The upgrades look to be unfinished. Although I did notice all the new parts seem to be Vault-Tec brand, which did have me a bit concerned. But I've double-checked everything, and there doesn't seem to be anything nefarious installed. So I see no reason not to leave the upgrades where they are. Maybe we could even try turning them on at some point.
That seems a little out there.
I know what you mean. Besides Lupe, I never considered the gunners that much in the brains department. But the evidence speaks for itself. That kind of brings me to the next thing I want to talk to you about. You see, I think we should stay here, in the plaza.
You're crazy, Jake.
You're kidding, right?
Well, think about it. It's got real hardwood flooring. It's glowing sea adjacent. It's certainly a step up from the hardware store. And I don't suppose you've noticed what's on top of this place?
Ooh, I'm intelligent, so yes, I do know what's up there.
Looked like a powerful transmitter.
That's right. Transmitter and receiver. On the plaza's roof is a huge antenna. It probably used to beam news to every home in the Commonwealth. It's got a massive broadcast range, something the gun has made good use of.
Nice. That sounds pretty high tech.
Now you connect something like the plaza antenna to the comm hub, and you got yourself a match made in heaven. With the gunners gone, we'd be fools not to use this place ourselves. That's why I think we should move our operation here. Begin to really scale things up. Maybe even start bringing in outside help. With a little effort, we could turn this place into a real headquarters.
Mr. Handy, a feather duster, and say, what, 100 years, and this place would be right as rain.
That's a stupid idea, Jake.
I'm not sure that's such a good idea.
Trust me, this is the smart thing to do. And it'll let us do some cool stuff. Let me show you what I mean. Follow me.
Jake does not care that I said no.
The gunners had already connected the hub to the plaza's antenna, but it was a real sloppy job. My guess is they were in a rush, or maybe they just didn't care. With their leader gone, I suppose we'll never know the reason why. Anyway, after a little tinkering around, me and Lupe figured that we could do a better job integrating the hub with the antenna. And after a little trial and error, and a lot of new parts, that's precisely what we did.
So, that little talk that Jake just did, and this is, like, future polish, where we finished everything. The first segment, he's meant to say about here. The second part of it, he's meant to say about here. And the last part, he should say about here. And so it's meant to fill in this little gap of him walking. But obviously it's just easier for him to all say it at once. So, one day, if we can be bothered,
allow me to
he'll break up that
introduce
conversation.
what we've dubbed the comm array.
And here we also see some cut content, which I'll explain once we've spoken to Jake. Ooh, the Comrie.
Excuse me.
Well, what do you think?
Yeah, sure. It's okay, I guess.
Yeah, it's nice. Really nice.
Really nice? A red hamster is really nice. This is very, really nice. Hey, you should try connecting your Pip-Boy to it. Just connect your adapter plug to the port there. Go ahead, it won't bite.
Okay, I'm gonna point out the small things that bother me and make me crazy. This and this. Now, I'm sure at some point we created versions of these or tried to rig it
Go
up.
on, connect your Pip-Boy.
Will, Jake, so that these images don't get stretched out, because obviously they don't fit. So it's just it's a small thing, but like that's not meant to be cropped. Or this one's not meant to be cropped like that, and that one's not meant to be zoomed out like that. But again, it's such a small thing, it doesn't matter, but it drives me
Go on,
insane.
connect your Pip-Boy.
Because I know at least at some point we tried to fix it. For some reason the game just wasn't having it, so it's a shame. Also, I wanted it so
You just
your Pip-Boy does
upgraded
the
your
loading thing
Pip-Boy's
there.
firmware. Thanks
Well, we
to
have
a
it
little
up here instead.
creative programming by
So that kind of
yours
works.
truly, your Pip-Boy now has a direct link to the comm array, which means... Are you kidding me? Again? This has got to be the 4th time today.
5th, I think.
How many times do I have to tell him? At this point, he's got to be doing it on purpose.
What are you talking about?
Again?
Sorry, I'll just be a minute. I gotta go take care of something.
Okay, so I was going to explain some, not cut content, just content we never got in, like it was planned at a certain point. And again, we always have bigger fish to fry, so it just got moved to the back of the line. But if you listened to the radio, where Jake calls you in, you hear that Lupe is working on something. Oh, Jake's over there.
What I said to fire that turret off inside? With all this trash everywhere, you're gonna start a fire. And... Did you splash these power cables directly into the latch wiring?
I like that they're arguing about me even being there. They don't need me.
How dangerous that is?
Okay. Oh, nope. Okay, I'd have to go up to continue that conversation. Apparently not.
Generator hours ago.
Yeah, okay. So, if you listen to the radio call you get from Jake and Lupe, you hear Lupe is busy setting something up, and she drops something that almost hits Jake. And that's because she's meant to be sort of up there. It's sort of constructing something, I suppose. And what is meant to happen is, and there are lines that actually reference that, is as you walked in through these doors and you see the lights on the comm array come up. So it was meant to be more that this room's dark, a spotlight comes on and lights up the array. We do have the boot sequence of the array turning on with all the screens and stuff, which is something we almost didn't get in, but we got that in, so I'm happy about that. But also music is meant to play, like in world music, so Lupe set up some radios, and confetti is meant to fall down on top of you. So that's what she was setting up, and that's why she almost dropped something on Jake, and that's why he complained. Again, polish for the future, but we always have more important things to take care of. So who knows? I'm fairly sure that should be doable, because it's just going to be like reusing the streamers from the Vault-Tec lunchboxes.
Well, I'm sorry, but I've had more important things to do than help you play with guns.
What are you two arguing about, anyway?
After I shared my plan for us to move in here, Aiden decided he wanted to stay as well. I said that was fine, providing he followed the rules.
Your rules, not mine. And just who put you in charge anyway? You can barely keep the lights on.
I never said I was in charge, but, well, someone's got to give the orders around here.
And that someone is you, is it?
Well, it sure as hell ain't gonna be you.
Shoot the turret when they're talking. Okay, okay. Well, we're going to save before we try doing that. Let's shoot the turret.
Whoa, watch it.
Oh, it's on fire. Is it going to explode? There we go. No more arguing. Thing about this turret as well. And then also there's some lines to reference, not code content, but just content that didn't get implemented quite as it was written. This turret is meant to be a laser turret, and that's why Jake is concerned about starting fires, and also why Aiden has a line about he's going to go calibrate some more lasers. Basically, he's saying, okay, whatever you say, Jake, I'm going to go play with more turrets. Anyway, what were we saying? Oh, did I break it?
Hey.
Oh no, we don't have a lead back in for that. Damn. We gotta fix that. Cal, it looks like we can break the conversation here. Good job, I saved.
Hey.
Hey, Slick.
I swear we had a lead back in here. Maybe it just never got implemented. Yep, that's a thing that occasionally can happen if you can break out of a conversation where we didn't plan for it. We don't have a lead back in line, so a conversation can just break. We've only had a few of those, thankfully.
You know, I wouldn't actually mind taking orders if it was from someone like you.
Okay, conversation's there.
For once, I think I might agree with Aiden.
Yes, sir.
You would make a good leader.
Thank you, Jake.
And if we're gonna turn this place into a real headquarters, we're gonna need someone who can make the big decisions. I know this is rather sudden, but, well, I don't suppose you'd be interested in leading this place.
Yeah, so adding those lead back in lines, it's important. And usually I get them, but occasionally I do miss them, and it looks like we've missed one here. It's good that I don't think I've ever seen any reports about it. That doesn't mean there weren't reports, it just means I've not seen them. So hopefully it's not a common problem of people breaking out of that conversation and shooting the turret. But generally speaking, you should be able to break out of any conversation and be able to get back into it. I'm not sure I want to become leader.
I'm not sure if I want to work with you guys.
Hey, I know Aiden can be a pain in the ass, but think about it. If you were in charge, you could give him all the real crappy jobs.
Aiden hears every word you're saying, you know.
I don't want to run this place.
All right, I understand. This is a big ask. You agreed to work with me as my partner, not to be the leader of a whole group. But if you change your mind, you know what we'll be.
Okay, so you can actually pause the quest here. If you don't want to become leader, or you've got other stuff to do, you can just say, nope, I'm not interested in leading. And they're just going to stay here for, forever, arguing until you come back.
Hey there.
Hey, Slick.
And apparently break the conversation again. Oh no!
Hey there.
Yeah?
Excuse me.
Yeah?
Oh, no one must say no then. So there is meant to be a line here of you come back and Jake will say something like, oh, we still can't get things working. Have you changed your mind about being leader?
Hey.
Unless I've somehow just broken it. It seems I've broken the textures on this thing. Maybe that was because I shot it. Maybe it's one of my texture packs. I'm fairly sure it's meant to say the caliber of the weapon on there. Oh no. Okay, we need to make a note of that. We need to fix in that whole little sequence there. Player says no to leader breaks. We have made a note. We have a note. Because that's important. Because the idea there is you're meant to be able to take a break if you want to, without feeling pressured of going ahead and having to do all this HQ stuff. Well, good job we just saved the game before we blew the turrets up. Because I may have tested that without a saved game there, and we'd have to go all the way back. Oh, I guess we got some auto-saves, so we would have been okay. Okay, be patient, Jake.
Be patient. You'll work it out.
Huh. You know, I would...
Okay, we've already heard all this.
I know...
Alright. I'll do it.
Well, all hail to the chief. Maybe now we can get something done around here. As I'm sure you've already noticed, Jake's custodial skills are severely lacking.
Hey, that is not...
And mine aren't much better. If you want to get an HQ up and running, we need someone who knows how to clean up and manage a place like this. And I got just the person in mind.
Who are you talking about?
From what I understand, you already know him. Guy's name is Mansfield, Deputy Overseer of Vault 81. I think, if you offered him a job overseeing the plaza, he'd leap at the opportunity.
Good old Mansfield. Everyone's favorite character.
What makes you think that?
After the gunners attacked his vault, I had the chance to talk to the man. He seemed unhappy in his role there, and I don't think recent events had helped that feeling. He spoke very highly of you, though. I believe if you offered him a position here, he'd take it.
If you really think we need this guy.
Look around. We need all the help we can get.
All right. I'll go talk to him.
Good. Now, I've got some lasers to go calibrate.
No, you don't, Aiden. You don't have any lasers.
I'd never say it to his face, but now and again, Aiden does make some good suggestions. I'm often too busy to worry about things like basic maintenance or upkeep, but we wouldn't be able to start a real headquarters without it. If this Mansfield is willing, we should definitely bring him aboard. Okay then, we all got things to begin on with, so I'll see you later. Good luck with the town scouting, Chief.
Okay. We're off to the vaults. And Aiden's just gonna stand there being busy.
Hey.
Yep, very busy. Calibrating those lasers. Ooh, I'm getting some frame drops in here. Okay, I do think we have fast travel, which is always appreciated. Off to Vault 81. Now, I'm fairly sure there's a Mansfield line here that at some point didn't fire properly, so let's see if it's still there. So, I think I discussed this last time when we came to the vault originally. Which is, there are a bunch of vanilla lines that talk about there being problems with the water. And so we tapped into that for...
Is that your Pip-Boy?
Yeah, that's my Pip-Boy.
Better be.
So we tapped into that for the quest that you do here. Now, how are my load screens so quick? I think... I could be wrong. I've recently moved a bunch of stuff around on my hard drives. I think I've got Fallout 4 installed on a solid state drive. So that will help. And there's also, you may notice my loading screens don't have any animations. Apparently that can slow down your loading times enough for it to be worthwhile turning it off, which I think is a utility tool that allows you to do that.
Don't want any trouble in it.
Downside is you don't see the pretty spinny things.
Your Pip-Boy ever act up on you? Mine's been glitchy.
Yeah, so the water. So that's the vanilla thing, and we tied into that with our quest when you come for the first time to get the Vitomatic from Mansfield. And it's something we were planning to revisit at some point. I think. Yes. We do have a line where if you were to bring a note on the gunners back to Mansfield, you could hand it into him before the attack, which has already happened, and he is meant to acknowledge it. And the idea is the attack is less successful when the gunners attack the vault, so that they're less groggy from the drugged water, and that is meant to play a role later on. I don't think there's any lines about it here.
It's good to see you again. Welcome back to what's left of Vault 81. As you can see, we've been rather busy cleaning up.
Okay, now I'm fairly sure one of the broken lines is here, so can I quick save? Yes, okay. I think I ask how the vault is, and I think it doesn't flow properly. Let's see.
How are things in Vault 81?
Not good. To be perfectly frank with you, the vault is failing, and I fear there's nothing anyone can do about it.
Maybe I ask what his job is. Oh, yeah, okay. I think what the problem was there. So I asked him how are things in Vault 81. He answers, it's meant to go back to the previous bunch of lines. Because there, with awareness, I can say, you'd really leave? He didn't mention anything about leaving, because we accidentally skipped over some dialogue there, so I'm going to make a note of that as well. I do have a big spreadsheet somewhere with all my little tiny notes, but maybe I should just hand those off to Cal at some point. I keep waiting to finish them, but then I never do, and then I start replaying again, so I start taking more notes down. Mansfield, but this one's bugged me for ages, so I want to get this one fixed. And it's a simple fix, I know how to do it, but generally speaking, there is more important things to do, and other people are busy tinkering away, so I don't want to go in and mess with things and break stuff. Mansfield convo loop. Okay. We have that written down to fix. What's your job here, Mansfield?
What do you do around here? Again?
I'm the Deputy Overseer. I'm responsible for the everyday operations of the vault. Mostly I coordinate all the different departments, but I'm also often the one left to deal with the undesirable tasks. Things like repair scheduling, sanitation assignments, or staff rotation. You know, the things no one else can be bothered doing.
You're welcome, Erica. But I'd recommend anyone, if you're playing a Bethesda game, play it on a solid state, especially Starfield. I think you actually have to play that on solid state. I think it doesn't play nicely on a regular hard drive.
It seems like you actually care about this job, though.
I'm surprised you noticed. Most people assume I hate my work. But yes, I do care about my job here. I find great fulfillment in what I do. But so often my contributions are overlooked or taken for granted. I've no real friends here in the vault, and now no more family. There's little keeping me here.
Well, Mansfield, how would you like to come work for me?
What do you think about coming to work for me?
Really? Are you perhaps hiring for some sort of deputy overseer position? If it was anyone else asking, I'd probably turn them down, but considering it's you... Very well. I accept. I'll begin packing immediately. Oh, but first I should inform the overseer. If you'd excuse me.
And off he goes.
I don't want to hear any negative reports about you, outsider.
Hey, I saved the vault, I think. I can't remember if I did that. Oh, I just completed a quest I had running. So we do have logs here that Mansfield keeps track of. Oh, there we go. It looks like we did turn in that note. Our new wasteland contact, which is me, uncovered a gun and plot to tamper with our water supply. All the water in the storage tanks is to be tested and treated immediately. All vault residents report for medical examination. Okay, that is tracked. Wonderful. And, as a small bonus, if you follow Mansfield as he slowly walks away, he does actually have a conversation with the Overseer. Go on. He just teleported.
Looking for a meal? See Maria. She runs the Sunshine Diner in the atrium.
So, the Overseer was a huge pain in the arse trying to find lines for her to interact with our characters during quest moments, because she has so few lines. And I really wanted to have a conversation between her and Mansfield when Mansfield went and quit. And so, if you listen to the dialogue she has with Mansfield, you can kind of tell, like, I mean, you can always tell. But I think you can tell a bit more with that conversation. I really had to cobble it together.
See Maria.
Did Mansfield get stuck?
She'll hook you up.
I'm gonna help him along. So that's
always.
Yeah, we got
Good
Mansfield.
to see you.
I think he's gone up here and got stuck or stopped by something. So we'll drag him with us, and hopefully he has his conversation. Okay, move to player. Oh, did we miss
I'm
it?
really starting to think of this place as home.
Okay, he's got conditional lines he shouldn't be speaking yet. Those are HQ lines. Okay, maybe we missed
Dr.
it.
Forsyth is doing all he can.
He comes
but
and
we're
has a
not sure it's
conversation
gonna
with the
be
Overseer,
enough.
and I guess we were too slow to catch it. Damn. Hello, Cal. Yes, we are playing on a fully updated version of SS2. Whatever the latest build is, I grabbed before I started streaming. So any bugs that have already been fixed should be fixed. Doesn't mean I still don't catch a few, because there will always be bugs. Your work is never done. Well, Don, we don't get to see his conversation. But yeah, he walks to the Overseer, he says he's leaving, and the Overseer makes some very vague comments in return. Mansfield does most of the heavy lifting in that conversation. But I will give a hint for future content. Because the Overseer has so few lines,
If it ever starts acting up on you, see Alexa.
if we are to return to this vault again,
Stay out of trouble.
well, there's going to have to be some workarounds for that. And I'll leave the rest to your imagination. Oh, speaking of playing D&D, Cal was playing D&D with me today. I think it was Cal's first time playing. How was it, Cal? Was it everything you hoped for?
Hello? Testing. 1, 2, 1, 2. Hey, can you hear me?
Oh, great. This just gets better and better.
Hey, I heard that. I got so distracted by Aiden, I forgot to tell you about your Pip-Boy's upgrade. Well, better late than never. So, congratulations. You are now the proud owner of a fully functional two-way Pip-Boy radio. No more tuning into pre-recorded broadcasts. Now you got the direct line. You can contact anyone at the HQ, whenever you like.
Hooray! We have radio. That sounds pointless.
Sounds like a waste of time to me.
Don't be so quick to judge. With a two-way radio, you'll no longer have to come all the way back just to give me updates. Should make staying in contact a lot easier. Speaking of, how'd it go at the vault? Did you manage to get that Mansfield guy?
Cal liked D&D, fantastic. None of us died as well, which is always nice.
Yeah.
Oh, great. I look forward to meeting him. Say, what's he like?
Oh, hello? Are we missing a audio line there?
Oh, but, he's good at his job, right? All right. Head on back to the plaza once you're ready, and let's see what this new guy can do.
Possible missing audio there. When you say, Mansfield's a pain in the arse. Okay, I think we can travel even though this red storm's going on. It is interesting the things that you find even after like 2 years.
You said stop using
of
turrets
working on
inside,
this.
so I did. I moved on to something else.
Yeah, you moved on to planting landmines. Inside. That's the part I have a problem with, Aiden. The inside part.
What am I meant to do, Jake? I'm only one man. I can't watch every door. Besides, I was just testing them. I had Teresa disable the charge in each mine. None of them would have exploded.
Hey, don't drag me into your little squabble.
Okay, you want to beef up security around here. I get it. But are mines really the way to do that?
Oh, hello. People
There's
spawning.
just no
in.
winning with you, is there? You said stop using turrets inside, so I did. I moved on to something else.
Excuse me.
Yeah, you moved on to planting landmines. Inside. That's the part I have a problem with, Aiden. The inside part.
What am I meant to do, Jake?
there
I'm
you
only
are.
one man. I can't
We were
watch
just,
every door.
waiting for
Besides, I
Mansfield.
was just testing them. I had Teresa disable the charge
very
in each
important that they
mine.
have that
None of them
argument.
would have exploded.
Can't pay attention to the chief.
What are you talking about?
Oh, same old. Mostly just disagreements on how we should go about doing things.
Who are these people?
I asked a few folks from Concord to escort MacLeod down here. After that, they decided to stick around. Help us out for a while.
Is he here yet?
No, not yet. Say, you did tell him where he'd be working, right? Like he knows to come to the plaza.
Erica says, did you miss the chance to get Lupe's unique gun that she gives you? I don't think so. Unless we made it a really narrow window of opportunity, we should be able to talk to her after this quest, I think. We'll try that, I think that should be an open quest that remains open until you talk to her next time. But if she does have dialogue during a main quest, that may override it, maybe. That's actually a good point. I did want to talk about that, because she has the dialogue that I mentioned before. You're meant to walk into the big room, confetti's meant to come down, and she actually has dialogue that references that, but obviously that doesn't exist right now. The reason for all these dialogue options right now, where Jake asks, did you tell Mansfield where he's working? Is I could find no player lines to tell Mansfield, like, come to my HQ, or we're at GNN. And so I just don't. And I hand wave it with Jake asking you, hey, did you tell him where to go? And the player's responses are, say nothing, I forgot, I'm not sure, or lie. Because I didn't tell him, because I can't. So I'm gonna lie.
Yeah, sort of.
Hello?
But he found his way
Hello?
here, so everything's good.
That must be him now. Hey! Over here!
We'd better move out. Good luck.
Thank you for your help. A safe journey back to the vault. Hello. Nice to meet you all. I'm Mansfield. former Deputy Overseer of Vault 81.
Yeah, we know.
Oh, right, of course.
Are you alright? You seem kind of tense.
Oh, it's just being outside the vault is all still rather new to me. It's quite overwhelming. But I'm sure I'll get used to it in time. For now, I suppose I should start getting settled into my new position here. So, where might I find my office?
Welcome to the team, Mansfield. I'm Jake. If you want an office, there's a few rooms up top you might like. Feel free to help yourself.
Up top? You mean, in here? Surely you can't be serious. This place is piled high with trash. It's dilapidated. It's literally dripping with filth.
Well, yeah. That's why we asked you to come work with us. We need your expertise to clear this place out. Help get everything tidy and organized.
Oh, Cedric. What have you gotten yourself into?
So Cal says, it used to be a small tiny window, so this is the chance for you to go get Lupe's gun. But I believe I have it unlocked later. Yeah, okay, so it looks at some point it used to be a tiny window, but I guess we made that bigger because, yes, it was easily skippable. Skippable. There we go. Suck it up, Mansfield.
Get used to it, buddy.
What a wonderful welcome to the wasteland. And thus begins my exciting new career, teaching sanitation. Very well. If you need this facility cleared of all this garbage, pay attention. I shall demonstrate some of the basics.
Let's just get this over with.
Now, watch carefully. Ahem. You there.
Yeah?
Congratulations, you're a janitor. Grab a broom and get cleaning.
Oh, okay.
There. You see? That wasn't so hard, was it?
Hooray! We've learned how to HQ. Welcome to the HQ. Here you'll be able to gather your allies, rebuild and enhance the facility, and manage your empire. Unlike a settlement, HQ does not require you to build anything, and instead you'll decide which projects and tasks your staff should focus on. In HQ, your goal will be to build up a qualified staff and enhance the facility in order to increase the size and scope of projects that can be done each day, eventually leading to researching powerful unlocks and influencing the Commonwealth in fantastic ways.
You've a real low opinion of Wastelanders, don't you? Believe it or not, most of us know how to clean.
The state of our current surroundings would beg to differ. How'd you even allow things to deteriorate this badly? Who's the head of facilities?
We don't have one. In fact, we don't really have no heads of anything.
No department heads? No wonder you're in such disarray. You can't expect to run a facility without clear, predefined roles.
Enough preaching already. I get it.
If we're gonna start assigning roles, I'm taking charge of security.
Hey, if Aiden gets security, then I'm calling head of engineering.
Slow down. It's not a competition. Assuming you're both qualified for those positions, that should be fine. Since you've no head of facilities, I'll fulfill that role. Now, usually in a vault, department heads answer directly to an overseer. Which I suppose in this case would be you, yes?
Yes.
I'm the one in charge here.
Well then, we'll be relying on you to direct each department as you see fit.
Okay, let's get to work.
Yes. Well, please, proceed at your leisure.
Hey, Chief. If it's okay with you, I'm gonna go find us a proper meeting room. I mean, this atrium's nice and all, but I prefer someplace less drafty and with better seating. Come on, kid, you're helping.
I am? Oh, okay.
Okay, we're starting everyone's most beloved part of SS2. Each worker at the HQ starts as a member of the Facilities Department, which handles cleaning, repairs, and construction in the HQ. The Facilities Department uses its staff combined strength to determine how much work it can do each day. Cleaning. Cleaning a room allows you to remove the trash and prepare that space for future projects. Command mode. Hold V to enter command mode, which allows you to access various commands for managing HQ, including starting projects for your staff to complete. So, let's see if I can remember how to play HQ. So first we have to clean. So I think we come over here. We clean up. And right now we only have one option, which is the offices. Daily workload. When you start projects, they are added to the department's workload for the day. After 24 hours, the task list will be completed, and you'll be able to assign them new projects. For the sake of this tutorial, projects will take just a few minutes. Okay, so now we wait for our staff to go to the offices and clean them up.
Yes.
Here are our wood guys.
Overdue for maintenance.
Cleaning up Mansfield's office, so let's sit down for an hour, and I think that should get it finished.
Antisocial behavior will not be
Maybe 2 hours. Now this is a script type thing, so really waiting in game time, unless obviously we gate it behind it having to take a few hours in game, waiting generally won't speed things up. In fact, it can slow things down. But I'm not entirely sure if this is a scripted thing that we have to wait for all the scripts to clean up this area, or whether it is timed. So let's wait another few hours and let's see. But I do see occasionally people will give advice that if something is lagging in SS2, they should just sit down and wait for a while. And that's not always true.
En route to home.
I'm
Location.
fairly sure I saw the room controls appear. Okay. Once a room is clear, construction projects for that room become available to the facilities department. Construction projects use a variety of scrap and supplies to make the room functional, providing benefits to the HQ, such as increasing the max number of people, opening up new jobs, and triggering unlocks. Okay, there we go. They've cleaned that room.
Greetings, sir or madam.
So now we have to start a project. So we move over to facilities, construction, other, and we're going to build Mansfield's office. Construction time. Most construction is completed as part of the daily tasks, but more advanced construction might take several days. For the sake of this tutorial, construction projects won't spend any actual resources and will only take a few minutes. So, we need to wait again. Now I will say, we on the SS2 team, especially Gaff, are very aware that a lot of people don't like the HQ section of the game. And we understand why. And so, I'd say fairly soon, I think. Hopefully, fingers crossed. There should be... Or is it out already? I don't know. I don't think it's out already. Otherwise, I think we would have got an option already to skip it. But anyway, at a certain point, we will be having the option to allow sort of the game to play itself. So you can just say, I don't want to do this. I want to let my staff do it instead. So at the, I'm guessing at the beginning here, where we were told to start cleaning projects, or do projects to clean, and then build the offices, you won't have to do that if you just allow it on automated. Okay, Erica says, automated HQ is not out yet, but I do believe it's soon. It's still in alpha, says Cal. Okay. See, it's difficult to know sometimes because I'm in the development channels, so I see things being discussed, and I hear Gaff talking about things, and I'm sure he's mentioned it on his stream a few times. Get down that hole. There we go. I'm happy now. So I wasn't sure if it was out yet, but I do believe that is something we'll have soon. So those who don't like HQ, you can mostly skip it. And that's another discussion we often have, is how much do we force the player to do a tutorial? Now, I tend to err on the side of letting players skip things. But we have discovered when you do that, even if someone doesn't know what it is they're doing, they're going to skip it anyway. And then they'll have zero clue of what they're doing and no way to learn about it. So that is why we often force tutorials. But once the game's been out for, you know, like a good few years, you can generally accept then that the information of how to do these things it's on the internet now. You know, people have discussed it, other people have asked questions, and other people have answered. So we're in a safer spot to kind of remove a tutorial, or at least allow it to be skippable. So at some point, I think we hope to have a lot of the tutorials in the early start of the game, when Jake's telling you about ASAMs and having you build things. We're going to have an option there where the player can say, I am not interested in this. And you'll instead then play a more streamlined version of the intro quests, because some of them you have to play for story reasons. So one of my projects that I want to get done is doing a reworked 5 or 6 quests in the beginning of SS2 and seeing what I can do to them to strip out any tutorial parts of them. So essentially you just say, yes, I'll help Jake, and he will do everything for you, and then just assume you know how to do it. I think we can do it. I think we'd only need a few new lines here and there, instead of Jake prompting you to do something, saying, okay, you know how to do this, do it whenever. The HQ is not just a place to work, it's also a place for your staff to call home. Each room assigned to a living quarters can provide space for 1 or more people to live, increasing the maximum number of people that can stay at the HQ. A person without living quarters at the HQ will refuse to do work in other departments, and so should remain as part of facilities, until you've established them a space to live. So, we have to build living quarters. Okay, do we need to clean up first? Nope. I'm not sure why we closed down
There's
with
a
that.
story here. We'll find it.
Okay, so we're going to clean up a room on the 2nd floor somewhere. Why are the FBI knocking on my door? I mean, I know why, but why do you think they are? Or is it someone else's door? Is it Kez? Is it him? Is that whose door they'll be knocking on? Because that wouldn't surprise me. Kez. You know what you did. Let's go wait for a few seconds here. Doop-a-doop-a-doo. Let's wait 4 hours. That should be enough time. Oh, because I'm talking about alpha stuff. Okay. Well, I'm fairly sure, I could be wrong, so I'm fairly sure I have heard Gaff talking about this in his own playthroughs. And if not, whoops, sorry, I shouldn't have said that. Everyone who just heard all that stuff, I forget I said it. Oh. Wait, you've been swatted, Cal? I vaguely remember maybe a story about this. Or was it your neighbors? Okay, we've done the cleaning. Yeah, I have a vague recollection of this story. But feel free to tell it in the chat if you are comfortable doing so. Okay, build living quarters. There we go.
Hard to believe I'm roaming with my own pre-war relic.
Cal says, did Cynical tell you that when I was playtesting NLTC storyline, there were armed cops outside my flat block? Yes, this rings a bell. I think I remember this story. If I remember correctly, I think you were so into the testing that you didn't even notice until it was either done or halfway through, or they were knocking on your door and sort of asking you like, hey, didn't you hear all the noise? There we go. And I had no idea because I was so engrossed with my first playthrough of it. They knocked at my door and I heard about it from my mum because I was on the something news. Damn, I hate these stupid new emoji things that block text so I can't read it. But yep, that's roughly the story I had in my head, so it's a good job. Good job not imagining that me. Well done. I'm not inventing stories again. Which I suppose is my job, so it's a good thing if I do that, but maybe best I don't invent stories about other people. Okay, that's gotta be enough time. Okay, Jake's apparently claimed this office here. There were helicopters. Okay, I don't remember that part. Update. Okay. Non-facilities departments such as engineering and security, each requires jobs in order for you to assign tasks them. Most room construction will result in increasing the job count for a department. Okay, use HQ system to set places for Jake and Aiden to do that work. So we need to clean up. multiple projects. You can begin to start additional projects so long as the departments can handle the workload and enough supplies can be gathered. As for as each project finishes, the work, energy, and the logistics needed will be released so you can use them again for other projects. Be sure to exit command mode periodically to refresh what's available. Okay. We'll assign those 2 jobs. And I guess we wait again for an hour or 2. Wait. See, I can definitely see when you've played SS2 a few times and you get to this point, and maybe you know how to do all the HQ stuff, this could be a bit annoying. But again, we make the players play this part, the players being you guys, because it is important that you learn it, and we have discovered when you let people skip things, they tend to skip things, even if they shouldn't. But we have figured out a good way to bypass it and still allow you to learn such things if need be. I think part of the difficulty was, even when we were close to release, this whole system was still either being worked on, so we didn't know 100% how it worked. Therefore, I couldn't really write the tutorial to be as clear as we wanted it. And so, okay, facilities finished. Okay, let's assign some people to build some offices. Construction, security job. Okay, we can get a checkpoint. That's not an office. Maintenance closet. Wait a minute, did I mess something up? We're meant to be assigning offices, aren't we? View layout. Okay, let's look at our quest. Use the HQ system to set up places for Jake and Aiden to do their work. Okay. Now, is this me getting confused here? So we go to facilities. We want to construct things. An engineering job. Okay, let's build this maintenance closet. Maybe that's what I got to do, and I'm just confusing myself. And oh, okay, I think I get it. We're not building offices, we're building a place for them to work. There we go. Okay, I'm doing it right. I confused myself. For some reason, I thought we were building them office spaces. I think that's all the things we had to build. Yep. Okay, so let's sit down and wait for that to finish. That should be enough time. There we go. Oh, hello Piper, spawning in. And now we'll just walk about until our little workers have finished their work. Okay, they've cleaned it up. That's good. They're having a big think about it. I do like this spiral staircase. Like, there's just enough room for us to squeeze it in, and you really do need it. For, like, you know, if you're playing the vanilla game, you don't really need to come up here. But if you're playing SS2, there's many a time I'm looking for a character, and they're hanging up here somewhere. Hanging up? Hanging out up here somewhere. And so I can't imagine how annoying it would be to have to go all the way around the back, or take the elevator every time. Okay, let's sit down again. Just wait a few hours. Also, you may be noticing, because I'm noticing it as well, I'm slipping up and slurring my words so badly today. And that is a case of working a few too many hours and not enough sleep. Because I do believe I mentioned this last stream. We do have our next project coming out soon with King Gaff Creations. But as always, I'm a bottleneck on these things, so a lot of my work has to be done before people can, hooray, finished, begin their work. So I'm really grinding, trying to get all that finished. And because of that, I'm half brain dead, it seems. The engineering department is in charge of upgrade projects. assisting facilities with more advanced construction and planning of technical designs. It uses its staff combined perception to determine how much work it can do each day. Okay. The security department is in charge of maintaining the safety of the staff. Oh, excuse me. Protecting the facility and preventing theft of supplies. I'm yawning again. Oh, how very rude of me. It uses its staff's combined agility to determine how much work it can do each day. Okay, so I need to assign Jake and Aiden. So, I think we do it this way. Manage. Reassign staff. We should bring a menu up. Okay, we need to assign Jake. Accept. Now we need to assign Aiden. Jake is now the head of engineering. Fantastic. Oops. I brought up that menu again. I didn't mean to do that. Okay, I want to go back. Those who want to go to security, assign. And we assign Aiden. Wait for the menu to pop up. And Aiden. Accept. Hooray! Oh gosh, I'm yawning so much. I need some caffeine after this. HQ and many of its rooms can be outfitted with additional capabilities. That's the word. Under the engineering section, you'll find an upgrades category. Much like construction, upgrade projects have material costs and may require multiple days. For the sake of this tutorial, these projects won't spend any actual resources and will only take a few minutes. Okay. I did that wrong again. I'm hitting all the buttons just to try and make things go faster, but that is not what I wanted to do. Okay, we want to go back. And... oh gosh, I've already forgotten what it is we're meant to be doing. Assigning, manage, engineering. There we go, upgrades. We're going to upgrade the security room. I see you talking in chat. That is the name of the D&D character I was playing today. He is a elven ranger, very, very traditional of me. And he apparently is quite awesome at climbing things and shooting his bow. Which, that was nice to find out. We're still all level 1, so... we're not exactly grand adventurers yet. But I personally like the lower levels in any D&D game. I think they're more fun, because things are more restrictive. I'd say anywhere between level 1 and level 5 always tend to be my most favourite levels. In most games, actually, not just D&D. When playing Fallout, I really enjoy the opening part of the game, when you don't really have your equipment, and you don't have supplies, and you don't have anything built up yet. And so you're just running around scrounging. I love that part of the game. It does get boring if you had to do that the whole playthrough, so I'm glad eventually you don't have to do that as much anymore. And obviously SS2 gives you bypasses to that by letting you build settlements and get resources and things that way. Upkeep. Some construction upgrades and other projects require upkeep to maintain. This can be in the form of daily scrap and supply costs. Work energy from a particular department or power... oh god. And water needs. Upkeep is marked on various HUD meters and with a small arrow indicating that amount will always be in use if that was read with words correctly. Meet with the staff. Okay. Now I think we're going to go find Teresa and Lupe, who are having an argument. I'm trying to get this wrapped before I fall asleep, apparently. I may not succeed. Oh, there's Aiden, having a stroll about. Now, do these guys have an argument that they're meant to loop in? I can't remember. I think not. I think the way it was originally written, we didn't quite have the setup that you have right here. Because usually what we do in these situations, like when we first enter the HQ and had Jake and Aiden talking with each other in like a loop forever until you interject. And it would make sense for that to happen here, but I don't think I had anticipated this would be the how this plays out.
Oh, hey! We've a bit of a problem.
Oh, no.
What's the problem?
Our building supplies. We used them all up. We can't do no more projects.
I'm surprised you didn't have more materials on hand. Has there been some sort of disruption to our supply chain? Oh, let me guess. We don't have a supply chain.
Watch your tone.
Then I suppose we'll have to start setting some up, won't we? Jake explained you own and operate a number of settlements. Perhaps we could take the supplies we need from one of them.
Whoa, hold on. You can't just take people's stuff like that.
Why not?
Why not? Look, I don't know how stuff works in a vault, but up here, people have independence, and they work hard for what they got. If we go demanding what's theirs, then we're no better than the gunners in my book.
I always feel weird when I laugh at things I wrote, because I wrote that. But the delivery there just cracks me up every time. Or just why not from Mansfield. Communist Mansfield, exactly. It's just like, it's the people's resources. Why can't we just walk in there and take what we want? Dangerous, you're tired, and this is the least stimulating part of the mod. Yep. Especially when you've done it a whole bunch of times. Like, I think the first time you're doing it, you're a bit more engaged, because it's new and it's scary and you have no idea what's happening. But yeah, playing the non-talky bits when you're tired, probably not wise. Okay, I have a local leader. Give and take. I kind of really want to say really Mansfield, but let's do the perk line.
If you're good to people, they'll be good back.
Yeah, what he said.
So what do you propose we do instead?
Well, instead of just taking from people, why not just ask them to donate what they got spare? Providing we ask nicely. I bet most people helped by ASAMs would be happy to send us what they can.
If we're putting it to a vote, I vote for the Ask Nicely plan?
I have my doubts. But you know the people of the Commonwealth better than I. If you think asking nicely would work, then go ahead. I shall await the bountiful inflow of supplies with bated breath.
Ha 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 ha.
What a charmer.
Don't be too rough on him. I just don't think he understands how it works up here. Hey, you know who we should talk to? Stodge and the others. I bet they'd be willing to send some supplies and materials our way.
Alright.
Just tell me where they are.
Same place you left them. I'll go on ahead. Meet you there.
If you can get the supplies, I'll make sure they're all organized and stored properly. That way we can use them as soon as they arrive. I should get back to work. Hope everything goes well at the settlement.
See, for some reason, I remember testing this part of the mod a lot of times. I'm not sure if we were having problems, or it just happened to be where we were in development, but I remember that there was a door in here, I think, that we just used to fast travel. You'd click on the door and it would take you to the default settlement we were using for the setup of this quest. What's Jake got to say?
Excuse me.
Nothing.
Hey, if you want to do some kind of project, I'm ready to go.
Fantastic. I think those lines have always been there. I think they weren't conditioned, but I think I know who we have to thank for that. Thank you, Cal. Because I guarantee that was you who got those working. Can we talk to Lupe about her gun now?
Excuse me.
No, because we're in a quest. Okay, we will talk to her later. Let's go to that settlement. Run. I think I've mentioned it before, but it bears repeating. I think Mansfield might be my favourite character in SS2. I mean, I've got many favourite characters, but Mansfield's special to me. He's the bravest character, and I respect bravery. Oh, there goes Teresa. Because you've got people like Aiden, who are big, tough ex-Minutemen. You've got Jake, who isn't exactly a warrior, but he's smart and he's savvy and he's not too bad with his gun. And then you got Mansfield, who spent his entire life sheltered in a vault. Isn't exactly the bravest fella. Well, he's really brave. He isn't the most courageous fella. And yet, he's always putting himself in harm's way and taking risks. And did I send them to Oberlin Station? No, okay, they were at Sunshine. I think Oberlin's being attacked, but we're just ignoring them. Cal says, please get the next patch when it updates. Has a fix for something. Okay, let me know when it updates, and I'll make sure for the next playthrough. Right now I'm playing with whatever's been released in the past few hours. I made sure to get the most recent build. Oh, we got brown face dodge. I'm wondering if it's a texture pack I've got, which I think is meant to... I think it reworks ghoul skins. I'm not sure if it's only stodge, because it could be... When we make ghoul faces, we have to kind of do a funny workaround for it. So I'm wondering if that has sort of caused the bug to appear on stodge quite often in this playthrough.
How you doing? So, Teresa tells us you need some supplies for your new headquarters. Build materials and so on.
No.
Can you help me or not?
You helped us out when we needed it most. Time to return the favor. We'll gladly share what we can.
See? I told you they'd help.
Nope.
Guess all that's left now is to
Jesus,
set up
Teresa.
a supply line. Hey, you think
Oh, she's got
maybe
the brown
that's
face as
something
well.
the ASAMs could
Okay.
build? You know, the infrastructure and stuff.
I don't know. We'll see.
Me neither. So, guess you'll just have to give it a try.
Hooray, we unlocked cows. Caravan services.
I'm gonna head back to the HQ. I'll see you there.
Now, I'm fairly sure I've got the mod that gives you the fix for the brown face bug. Because if you can see Teresa's terrifying face right now, she doesn't have eyebrows. I don't know for sure, but I'm fairly sure it's something to do with like the overlay textures bugging out. I think I've heard something about the resolution can cause it sometimes. But I'm sure I had the fix for that, so I don't know if it's just not working properly. Or SS2 overrides certain things, who knows. Okay, I think it's a municipal plot, and oh, we have no ASAMs. Damn. Where? Okay, I know where we get ASAMs. I don't think I've looted them from Jake's store in Concord. TGM. Oh yeah, I could TGM, couldn't I? Well, we're not cheating, Kez. We'd never cheat. Cheating is for losers, and we are winners. Is that a box of ASAMs? Nope. Is that a box of ASAMs? Nope. Okay, maybe we did loot the ASAMs, in which case I think they're gonna be in whatever our main settlement is. Which is Starlight. Okay. Haha. I'm honorable. I do not cheat. Except the times I do, like last time. But we ignore that. Oh. Well, I'm just gonna let those guys deal with that.
So that's it, huh?
They got this, it's fine. Oh my, okay. Raider and power armor. Maybe they don't have this. Okay, he was kind of weak. Yeah, we're just gonna close the door. There we go, we're safe. We're fine. ASAM! We have one ASAM. That's all we need. Okay. Got one guy over here, let's go get him.
Wouldn't want to be
Okay,
in your shoes.
I think our settlers are going to deal. Fantastic, okay. Let's fast travel back with our single ASAM. Oh, great, a rat storm.
We're
Lovely.
not gonna stay smooth skins much longer if we don't get a move.
Okay, municipal plot.
Would you look at this place?
I guess we could have... Oh. We have one right here. Fantastic. Okay, let's just change this into a caravan plot. Okay, we can skip through this, just telling you about building plans and how they work. Okay, caravan services. Yes, please.
None will escape the Great Divide. May Adam bless you with his glow.
Oh, that's creepy. I think that's because Hubert is our mayor, so I guess some children of Adam have shown up. Okay, we need someone. Let's go work that plot. So, who have we got? Can Doc Shock do it? Let's go see. It's assigned.
The world will see.
It doesn't have
glory
power,
again.
but I think we're okay at this point. It will need power to upgrade, though, if we wanted to use it for fast travel. But we're not. Oh my gosh. A red roach. But we have fast travel, so we don't need to use the caravan services to do that. Oh, it was already... Okay. Chat's telling me that was already a caravan plot, but it was just not built yet, because no one was assigned to it. But we did just assign Doc Shock. I think, generally speaking, robots can be assigned to such things without problems. Yeah, okay, it's building. Fantastic. I think maybe at one point, if you assigned a robot or a child settler to certain things, it wouldn't work properly. I think that's all been fixed at this point, though. But if you're ever playing and you have that issue, try assigning a non-robot or adult. We got these floating in the air. And that might fix it. Maybe. I am no expert on such things. Okay, looks like it's almost finished being built. As we are slowly irradiated. Let's eat some food. Get some health back. What won't make me sick? Guana bits. That'll do. You know, sometimes I forget that the whole plot mechanics isn't part of the base game. And very rarely when I've sort of decided I'm just going to play a really light version of SS2, and a light version of Fallout 4 rather, with not too many mods, and I boot it up and just get some sort of, you know, the important mods like fixes and stuff, and I start playing, and I was like, okay, I'm going to go to my settlement and start building things up, and then I realize, oh, I've not installed SS2 and ASAMs and plots. That's not base game. Pollution. Pollution represents the environmental hazards of human living. This includes things like garbage, waste, corpses, and other unsanitary conditions. The more pollution in a settlement, the more likely a disease outbreak is to occur. Something else that I know so many people loved, the whole disease thing. Each settler adds to the overall pollution created in a settlement. Some buildings add to the pollution, as well as other smog, radiation, or other hazards. Be careful about growing your settlements too large or using too many high-polluting buildings. See, I like this system, the whole pollution thing. I think the main thing that holds it back, though, is just the engine in general. Because I like games like City Skylines. And I think the pollution aspect of it is a fun thing. It's a fun challenge to work around. Generally speaking, I just find a river somewhere that's leading out of my city and just have loads and loads of pipes just pumping all that raw sewage back into the river, taking it away. I don't have to worry about that. Annoyingly, they seem to introduce buildings and things to very easily bypass the whole pollution thing in some of the DLC. And I think that ruins it, because, you know, that's a fun thing to play with and balance and try and overcome. And so I like that we have that in SS2. Cal says, I've told people in Facebook Fallout groups to build caravan plots before instead of supply lines, because I forget that that's not vanilla. Yeah, not vanilla. Yes. That the caravan system for sharing supplies and things. Like, that's become something I can't imagine not playing without. Wait, did I come back before I'm meant to? Return to HQ. Sure, a meeting's meant to be happening right now. Unless we've got a bit of script lag going on. Diseases are fine once you disable the down settler option. Yeah, I think that was people's main problem with them. Because the system is introduced and it's not activated until you're part way through a playthrough, and you've just been building whatever you want without taking things into account. All of a sudden, you've got a bunch of pollution, and people getting sick, and it would unassign people from plots. So things would just screech to a halt, and that did not feel good. Okay, I'm just going to wait. I think everyone's sort of slowly making their way to the meeting room. So let's wait for an hour. Let's go see. Oh, okay. That's interesting. Let's leave and come back, maybe. Wait, do we have to talk to Teresa or Lupe after returning? No, I'm sure it's straight into a meeting. Oh, I know what I haven't done. I think it's not automatic that it sets up the caravan system. So I think we have to assign Teresa. Now, did that pop up and I just didn't read it because I'm dumb? Or is something not firing that's meant to? Okay, we've assigned Teresa, which means now we can assign a supply agreement with that settlement. And it was Sunshine Tidings. And then after this, then I believe the meeting should trigger.
Hey.
Nothing to say to me. You're supposed to assign Loop. Oh, you're right. Lisa is admin. Teresa is admin. Jeez. You can tell my brain is just slowly frying. Well, you are meant to assign Lupe, because she does have the better stats for it. Because that's what she's designed for. But I believe you can actually assign whoever you want to most things. Let's assign the correct person. Lupe. There we go. 10 endurance. Much better. Yes, everyone in shout... God, good God, my brain is melting. Everyone in chat is shouting at me, and rightly so. There we go. Now I've got the correct pop-up. The logistics department can set up supply agreements with allied settlements. Blah, 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 blah. I'm not going to read that. And I think we already assigned the project, so that should be fine. Ah, okay. Cal says you can do what I just did, but technically that won't progress the tutorial, which is what we're meant to be doing right now. Now let's just double check and make sure... Yep, okay. So that assignment we did before did apply and is being worked on. So we will just sit and wait. Everyone's shouting, "It's Lupe, not Teresa! You fool, what are you doing?" Okay. Now we should wait a short while, and then the meeting should happen. And I think we should see everyone sort of pop out of existence and jump over there. I'm gonna get this quest done, gosh darn it, before I call it done for today. And then we can move on to the other stuff. Come on, Lupe. Do it. Finish already. Come on. Even Aiden's getting bored.
I'm ready to do something if you need it.
Hi.
Nope, Lupe is mad at me. And so is Teresa. Let's see, establish a supply... Oh no, did I break it by doing it out of sequence? Let's see. Coordinate. Let's try Starlight. Oh no, I think I might have broke the sequence for it. Okay, we should have an autosave when I entered. Or not? You're forgetting this is like Tom forgetting who Laura is live stream. That's true. It looks like I've got autosaves turned off. Oh no! Oh no, I think I might have just broken. I accidentally assigned Teresa. And then assigned the trade agreement. But that isn't what I was meant to do. So after going back and then assigning Lupe, I wasn't able to reassign the trade agreement. Oh dear. Oh no. I'm just gonna wait. I'm gonna wait 24 hours and hope that somehow fixes everything. I will say now that I'm working on multiple projects in sort of different universes, I'm getting elements of Fallout 4 and Skyrim mixed up in my head. So sometimes I'll refer to Jake when I don't mean Jake. Sometimes I'll refer to one of our characters when I'm talking about something from Fallout 4. And we have a lot more characters now in this new thing that we're working on currently, so it's a whole bunch of things to keep in my head. Cal's on top of it, updating the new bug. That, you know, it's a good thing. I did things out of sequence. I discovered a bug which would potentially be quest breaking, assuming this waiting 24 hours thing doesn't work. So it's a good thing I'm tired and I'm just not paying attention to who people are and where I should be putting them. Yep, it's a good thing. I'm going with that. Can you break and reassign the agreement? I'm not sure how to break an agreement. It's possible, maybe? We do have the workstations. I'm wondering if I interact with that, it might give me the option to do that. Any ETA on the new King Gaff creations? Or is that up to Todd? We do have a release date in mind that we're working towards. Whether we will make that or not is anyone's guess. I'm not going to say when it is. Because the moment you start saying dates without things being mostly done is the moment you start missing deadlines. I will say it's coming out this year, definitely. And I'd say sooner rather than later is the most I'd be comfortable saying right now. Yeah, I think I broke this. Let's go see if I can unassign it somehow. Go into build mode, logistics, coordinate, next to establish supply route, should say self-supply, okay. Cal is on the case. Logistics, coordinate, and then next to establish supply. No, I think we don't have it yet because we're still in the tutorial maybe. Yep, and I don't have any more building options to do. It's February, I hope it comes out this year. Okay, it's not in here. Is it here? Okay, it's one of these. So this is admin, security. Did I say Teresa again? Lupe. I need to find Lupe's work desk. Where is Lupe's work desk? F in the chat. Yep, I think I broke it. So, what I may have to do is next time we're just going to have to set stage to skip ahead in this particular quest. And we'll probably start off in the meeting. Well, this has just been out in the commissary room. Okay, let's before we call it, we're going to go see if we can fix it by interacting with the work desk in the commissary room. Thank you, Kez. Okay, this is not it. This is engineering. Logistics. Okay. We can assign a leader, dismiss leader, assign employees, manage projects. No active projects. Is any of the stuff on this desk to interact with? Nope. I think it's just the desk as a whole. Yeah, I think we broke it. Fantastic. So in that case, we're just going to save. We're going to call it here for today. So, as always, as we wrap up, if there are any questions or queries about today's playthrough, any questions in general about service elements, or anything related to King Gaff Creations, please feel free. If not, we shall be wrapping up shortly. Cal says, I don't think set stage will help if you assign the wrong person. You could try, but you'll still need to make sure the right people are assigned after. Yeah, I think it might be a case of us just setting the stage to brute force the quest, and then try, and maybe after the quest is done and we're not in the tutorial anymore, we can actually have the option to sort of unassign and reassign and change agreements and so on to fix anything that might come up, because I do think having the agreement set up properly is important for a future quest. Medtax. We're gonna sit here with a good view of the back of the commissary. beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Okay. That is enough Fallout 4 for today. We made progress through the most beloved tutorial of all time. We broke said tutorial. And next time we shall begin at the end of said tutorial. Kez Daddy asks, have you been watching any shows or movies recently? I've been watching, as I often do, Star Trek The Next Generation. That has been my background noise as I've been working on the current King Gaff Creations project. And I did watch something new recently. What was it? Ah, yes, it was 4 Weddings and a Funeral, a old film that I'd never seen. And I hated the main characters. I don't know if I was meant to. I don't know if I was meant to feel good at the end when they get together and true love conquers all. But I thought they were both horrible people, and I was not rooting for them. So that was interesting. But it was still a fun film. I enjoyed watching it. I'm also... I don't want to say looking forward to, because that's the completely wrong sentiment. I'm morbidly curious about the new live-action remake of Avatar: The Last Airbender. And I wasn't holding out high hopes for it. There was obviously the film that came out a good few years ago, the M. Night Shyamalan film. That was awful. And I think people asked themselves, well, could it be worse than that? And everyone said, no, it cannot be worse than that. And I still don't think it's as bad as that, but I think it might be close. There was a small clip released recently, and it didn't look good. It's one of those things where I don't get why you'd try to make a live-action version of it. Because, yeah, just leave it animated. It's a great show. If you fellas out there have never seen Avatar: The Last Airbender, yes, it's a cartoon. Yes, the first few episodes are a bit of a slog to get through, but they are not reflective of the quality of the overall series. It's got some of the best writing and character growth I've ever seen in any show ever. And that it is just a kids' cartoon, in quotations. To say that is a disservice to it, because it's so good. It does so many things correct. It's got such good characters and character arcs, and I didn't watch that show. I think a lot of people who... I didn't watch that show. Of course I watched it. I didn't watch that show when it first came out. Because I did have a somewhat negative view of it. Like, that won't be any good. It's a kid's show. I'm a grown-up by this point. I won't get anything out of that. And so I didn't watch it when it was being aired for the first time. And I think I was only maybe late teens, so 17, 18, 19 maybe. Maybe a bit older, maybe early 20s, I can't quite remember. So it was at least 5 or 6 years until I one day decided to watch it. And I must have watched, like, just the whole season just in one go. I was meant to be going to sleep, and I just remember staying up in bed and just watching the whole thing. And being amazed of, like, wow, this is scarily good. And then I was a huge fan of it. Like, fantastic show. Really let down by the sequel, The Legend of Korra. Which I don't understand, because it's the same people who made it. I think one of the people from the main team left during Legend of Korra, and I suspect that they were a linchpin to how good The Last Airbender was. It's shockingly good. Canuck says, I lost hope for the live-action Avatar when the OG creators parted ways at the project. Yes, I heard that. So that's never a good sign when the original creators say, yeah, we're leaving. Generally, the reason given is creative differences. And usually that's code for something a lot worse. However, as I just mentioned, those guys also made The Legend of Korra, which maybe by itself isn't as bad, but when you compare it to Last Airbender, it's a huge dip in quality. And suddenly they start making huge writing mistakes, like there's giant plot holes that they create. I think Korra is a much more unlikable character compared to the original cast. Ironically, I think the characters and storytelling is a lot more immature, which is weird because now these are more grown-up characters, but I'd say the characters in The Last Airbender are more mature and go through more growth and are like more grown-up, which is kind of the point of one of the characters' backstory. The main character, like, he has to grow up. That's part of his character arc. So that those guys, who were the main guys in charge of it, made Korra, it's like, I don't get how they messed up. So that they walked away from a project isn't necessarily a bad thing. It could be that they've lost the magic, or they've completely changed their vision on what makes a good show. But I suspect it's also a case of they were disillusioned with the live-action remake, and so, yeah, it could have gone either way. It could have been the live-action remake was amazing, but didn't fit with their current view of how Avatar should be. Or it was really, really bad, and they said, nope, we're out. Cal says, I've still haven't seen Star Wars, Star Trek, or Lord of the Rings. Well, your homework is to watch one of those. I'd recommend, if you've got the time, Lord of the Rings. That's probably the best thing to watch out of those if you've not watched anything related to those franchises before. Erica, to call The Last Airbender a cartoon just for kids, I like to show them certain clips, like the Blood Moon episode. Yeah, it's... in the West, I'd say. In the West. Cartoons, I think, have very much been labelled as kids' entertainment, and I think that's because when cartoons kind of came to prominence, they were very much aimed to be kids' entertainment, and they've never shook that stereotype, I guess is the best word. Whilst in more places like Japan, you have things like anime, and that's considered more of a, adults can enjoy it. Kids can enjoy it, teens can enjoy it, adults can enjoy it. Probably less adults as you get older. It is still seen as a more young person thing. But there's less stigma around it, and there's a lot more mature shows as a result of that. So, Avatar: The Last Airbender is one of those interesting Western TV shows that breaks a lot of conventions, and yeah, to just call it a kid show, huge disservice. But it is also a kid show, which is fantastic, because I think you can sit any kid in front of that, assuming they're like, I don't know, 10 years old onwards, and they're going to love it. They're going to get some fantastic life lessons from it. And it's entertaining as hell. I love that show. I wish they'd just make new stories instead of the same world, instead of rebooting. Says Kez. Yeah. But it's also, I get it from a purely creative standpoint, I guess, because creativity is hard. So why not just redo the thing that was already proven to be successful? Like, I understand that mindset. I don't agree with it, but I can understand why people fall prey to it. It's like, oh, this thing has already been successful. Let's just do it again. But if you don't add anything to it, like if you don't improve it, like you always do that with successful franchises. You say, this franchise is successful, let's reboot it. And it's purely a monetary thing, of course, that makes sense. But really, it should be the other way around. It should be, this franchise was really bad and was really not done very well. Let's redo it and do it better this time. But of course, then less people are going to watch it because they'll just remember that it used to be bad. So I understand why people do it, but I don't agree with it. Canuck says, I couldn't get through Korra's first episode. Wow. I think even I got through the first episode, and I'm super critical of most things I consume when it comes to media. Maybe I was less jaded back then when I watched it. I think I got through the first season. I think I got annoyed and gave up during the second season of it, I think. Here's the annoying thing, there's some good elements in it, and if they reworked it from what I remember, there are certain things they could have done better. I remember hating Korra, though. She was such an insufferable character to me, I just hated her. Again, it's so funny that Aang was a more mature character than her. Craziness. Too large, or Cal, going to Lord of the Rings wedding next year. Oh, Lord of the Rings wedding? Like it's themed around Lord of the Rings? Or everyone's going to sit down and watch Lord of the Rings instead of the usual wedding things? Because that's a great idea. I'm going to guess it's themed. In which case, do you have to dress up? Because I'd be tempted just to go to that wedding even if I wasn't invited, because that sounds like fun. A bit cringy. Because you can imagine in 10 years' time you're showing your wedding pictures to someone and they're like, why do you have pointy ears? Oh, I'm an elf. You're an elf? Oh, yes. What do you mean? Oh, it's a Lord of the Rings wedding. I don't understand. Yep, you have to dress up. See, I think that's fantastic, but it's also cringy as hell. It's I have the same opinion of live-action roleplay. I think I might enjoy it, but I fully acknowledge it's so cringe. But you just, as you say, you have to embrace the cringe, and that's what makes it fun. As long as you're self-aware about it, I think it's okay. Get yourself invited by having a good enough costume. Oh, that's true. See, I'd want to go... Okay, this technically works. I'd want to go as a dwarf. Because I love dwarves. I think they're great. They're fantastic. Gimli's possibly my favourite character in the films. In the books it's different, but there's way more content in the books. Obviously, dwarves tend to be short. And I'm not short. I'm about 6'2". But the actor who played Gimli, I think, is about 6'2". He just had to stand in a hole all the time to make him look short. So technically speaking, I'm the perfect height to play a dwarf. I just have to stand in a hole. But I think it's doable. We could give it a try. On that point, I think we're going to call it there for today. So thank you very much for watching. We will be streaming next week, fingers crossed, unless something comes up. I'm hoping by then I should be fully wrapped, not fully wrapped, but mostly wrapped on my current work on King Gaff Creations. I'll have more work to do, but the bulk of the important stuff will be done. And maybe we can start teasing a few things about it. I know we want to, but the question is always how much and when do we start teasing? I'm seeing good nights in the chat. Thank you very much. It's good night to you guys, but it's not good night for me, even though it's 11 PM. I've got work to do. But as always, thank you very much for tuning in, and I will see you next time.